Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video. So quick story time. During my sessions of grinding, I realized that I really needed a Mark II Oppressor. I needed it to get around the map easily, I needed to defend myself with. And at some point I was waiting around for all my businesses to fill up and I was a bit bored, so I decided to buy myself a Mark II Oppressor and do something that I saw quite a while ago on YouTube. My friend Gillymaster made a video on flying upside down and how to reach the sky limit quickly on the Oppressor, and I was like, dude, if I'm gonna be riding around one of these things, I might as well look as stupid as I possibly can. So I learned what Gilly spoke about and soon the grasshopper became the master. Like legit, this shit took me hours to learn. But then I figured out something that I had to tread very carefully with. I will now demonstrate. As you can see, I gained a great amount of altitude in a crazy short amount of time. Now this is something that isn't new. This is what Gilly showed, but with a couple of tricks combined, I was able to dodge a barrage of rockets coming after me. Yes, the Mark II Oppressor physics are still a bit broken. I'm gonna explain 3 things you can do with this, and all of these things are defensive mechanisms that no one else has covered, not that I know of at least. Except for the gaining altitude, obviously, that Gilly covered. The first one is the glitch that makes you go to the sky limit way faster than ever before. This is nothing new, but the second glitch is a speed glitch on how to maneuver quickly. You can twist and turn in the air super fast and you'll be very agile. And the third one is the mechanism that will counter any other Mark II Oppressor user. All of these things combined are basically a very fun way to deal with Oppressor Grievous and are a great defensive mechanism. Now before I continue, I want to share a little bit of insight that put some troubled mind at ease. I was pretty wary on whether I should post this glitch or not. I understand a lot of people have concerns about this vehicle, so let's talk about that real quick. I'm gonna explain it as easy as I possibly can. This glitch will take up 40% of your time keeping you upside down, 20% of the time trying to move you in the way and where you want to go, and 20% of the time dodging buildings. And then we aren't even talking about dodging missiles, looking at your minimap where your opponent is, getting the right altitude to battle your opponents, and well, there's just too much going on to use this effectively offensively. As you can see in the gameplay, I can move wherever I want and I can go easily wherever I want while flying upside down. I have no problems in maneuvering the Oppressor at all, but maneuvering and battling efficiently is really hard. So acquiring targets to grieve while flying upside down is actually way less efficient than keeping it just straight. The second thing I was really wary about before posting and sharing this technique is something I had to test before I would make this thing public. As you can see, you can gain altitude really fast and go down really fast. But the thing that worried me was, can you dive bomb people with this technique using the lock-on missiles? And the answer is no, you can't lock on to people straight below you. The locking will always remain functioning as if you were horizontal. So at the end of the day, all this thing is really useful for is countering Mark II Oppressor griefers. So with that out all of the way, we can establish that this isn't very helpful when you want to fight offensively, but defending on the other hand. So there's 3 things you can do with this, but we have to start at the very beginning, how to fly upside down. First of all, you need any structure that is just slightly a little bit taller than yourself to start this glitch off. It needs to be a vertical structure, it can be a rock, it can be a pole, it can be whatever. And I'm going to show that later down in the video. Or you need something to drop off from backwards. I'll use this wall first. With the wall, you simply drive up to it and hold the left stick backwards to get off the wall. With dropping off, you go backwards, you hold the stick down and off you go. Before you try going backwards, definitely try doing the wall technique first. That is way easier to pull off. Once you're off the wall, you simply stay upside down by wiggling your stick up and down gently. The Oppressor is trying to correct itself and you should try and counter every correction it tries to make. This is the hardest part and it's gonna take a good hour of practice before you get that down. As soon as you got it, it will become muscle memory really quickly and you can keep flying this thing upside down for however long you'd like. So I'm gonna assume that you've mastered this. Let's talk about the 3 things that you can do. First, we're gonna talk about gaining altitude quickly. This is the same technique that Gilly used in his videos. You basically fly upside down, press the handbrake button, and that will make you shoot up to the sky. It's all about maintaining balance to stay upside down, but if you do that, you can get to the sky limit, and more importantly, you can get out of danger quickly. You can use this technique with the boost as well to get even more momentum to get out of trouble quickly. The next course of action for that technique is going down. You simply do the same thing that you've learned flying upside down, but this time you point the oppressor downwards. This way you can go up fast and you can go down fast. This technique can be used to get away from griefers quickly. Once you've hit the sky limit or are out of sight, you simply go back to safety. In the best case scenario, the other Mark II Oppressor user will spend literal minutes to trying to get up to you, if they even had a clue what you just did and what happened. Now, a silly little thing that happens when you're at the sky limit, your oppressor will actually turn off. Once that happens, just point the oppressor downwards and you can just wiggle your way down to safety. So let's assume that the griefer is on you, you're on the ground, so the best and the quickest way to get away while on the wall, wait for the moment you are free to go upside down and hold R1 or the handbrake instantly. That way you will shoot to the sky and beyond. Before moving on, I'll quickly show you what it could be used for in an actual free mode lobby. Here I am minding my own business while GTA man, out of all people, is creeping up on me to get that sweet 1-0. But off the wall I go and up away I am, while dodging all his missiles. And I'd like to quickly point out that he actually did kill himself trying to kill me. That's quite funny. The next part of the glitch is maneuverability, so now how you know how to get up and down, it's time to learn how to quickly turn while in the air. So what you want to do is the same technique as the vertical climb, but this time you hold down your left stick to the left or to the right. The moment you are facing sideways and are pretty much vertically, you press the handbrake. That way you can easily and quickly turn. This is the fastest way to do it. You could also simply turn by slowly wiggling left or right, but that would be significantly slower. Going down quickly could also be used combining this technique. Like shooting up to the sky, you can face further backwards, so you can suck yourself towards the ground with this trick. So not only can you go quickly up, you can go quickly down, left and right, you can also get to the ground quickly. The final thing is the most useful thing, dodging any incoming Mark II rocket. Now this one is probably the easiest and the most fun one, and probably the meat and bones of this entire video. It'll leave any griefer scratching their head. As you can see, I got into a little fight with a griefer and he decided to come after me, so after battling on the ground, I called him a Mark II Oppressor. I used the glitch and got out of there in seconds. Now, he was getting after me, he was trying to shoot me, and I used this technique to dodge every missile he shot at me. After that, I went way above him as he couldn't catch me, and well, this kinda obviously upset him and he left the game shortly after. So what you do here is quite simple. You angle your oppressor kinda sideways as if you are turning it, and you keep holding down the handbrake or, well, R1 or RB. That way you start circling around like crazy, going too fast for any rocket to catch you. Like I said before, don't get your hopes up of returning fire. While it is possible to fly straight towards a Mark II Oppressor upside down and shoot him, chances are pretty slim you'll pull this one off. Like I said, everything here is just fun stuff to use to defend yourself with. You can get kills, but like I said, trying to keep this thing upside down takes up the majority of your time. But once you have this down, you can actually throw off every Mark II Oppressor user pretty good. The last two things I want to quickly mention, using the handbrake can also be used as a sort of reset. Whenever you think you're about to lose the upside down position, press the handbrake shortly and it kinda locks you back into the downward position. The final thing is the entire region that isn't littered with buildings. As we've all know, and I said earlier in the video, you don't really have the luxury of high buildings to potentially start this glitch off in Blaine County. Well, luckily you do not need a whole lot. As I show you right now, you can start this off from nearly every pole, structure, even rocks if it's steep enough, and if it isn't high enough you can always use the drop down technique. But as you can see, you can start this off from nearly anywhere and anything, as long as what you use is slightly taller than your character. Now that was it. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do with these tricks, and it will seriously throw every griefer off course, and it has saved my ass countless of times. Once they realize you are either too hard to catch or too quick, griefers often give up and, well, they leave you alone, or even better, they leave the lobby. Either way works. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.